Hey there, good morning. I'm John. Today is Monday, June 19th. Welcome back to my daily vlog. It's a Monday morning back from a nice weekend. Time to jump into this weekdaily, I guess, analysis of what it's like trying to take content creation from part-time to full-time ever since I chose to do that instead of jump back in the workforce after I was laid off back in November. So, let's talk about, I would say yesterday, but let's go back to Friday. Friday was single vision. I was absolutely focused all day on Friday on working on the next Atari tier list. Now, more and more important that get done. We're going to talk about today in a second. When we get to stats, I'll tell you why. But look, I have all of the footage done, all the writing done, all of the capturing done, the only thing left to do is my stand-up, which is 20 minutes, and then the edit, which can be very laborious. But over the weekend, over Friday, I got that part done, and I was like, maybe I'll get to more of it on the weekend, but I was having a good weekend off, so I almost didn't work on the weekend. I mean, I posted some puzzles and stuff, but yeah, we had a really good weekend. So while we're on the topic of the weekend, then some cool things happened. It was Father's Day. We had a nice couple of days. Went to the movies, things like that. Plus, went to a vintage toy store here in town and found not one but two really cool vintage toys. One from 1979, another from 1981. These are like these little handheld gadgets with the vacuum form displays. I guess you would say the kind of released alongside like those Coleco tabletops, those sorts of things. But amazing shape. Found these two things. They'll definitely be topics in upcoming videos, but I don't know when because there's a lot piled up that we'll talk about going into today. Let's talk about stats real quick. Wow, good stuff on the stat front. So I don't remember where we were on Friday. I want to say we were 29.2 or 29.3. Can't remember. Don't remember. Anyway, as of today, since over the weekend, boy, I looked at a second and I've already forgotten. I want to say it's 29,450 something. So, look, 30,000 is right around the corner. I think last time we talked about it, I'd said weeks. We're still hitting right around 100 subscribers a day, so it's between like 90 and 110 or so, right in there, typically is what we're doing right now. And, over the weekend, another basically 300 or so over the 2.5-3 days. So I would say that we're 29.5 by the end of today, probably. And so we're talking about, could be by next weekend, 30,000. I mean, I projected by SFGE. That's another month away yet. So by then we could be 31, 32. Who knows? Who knows how it goes? Especially, we talk about in the stats part. I said I would allude to this. Those Activision tier videos still doing well. They keep having spikes throughout the weekend. They would have little spikes of several hundred per hour, and I think collectively the two of them are up over about 50,000 views. One of them is like 30, anyway, together like 50,000 views. So it's they continue to do good numbers for us, and so I have not only good hopes to get this next one done and out to see how it does, but also the longevity of these videos. Look, Evergreen content it's great to have topical stuff and reviews and things like that, and I love doing that, and that's important. But the Evergreen stuff is the kind of thing that can sustain you if you can get enough of them for a long time, because by Evergreen, I mean it's not topical. It's as pertinent today as it will be next year and the year after, right? When you review every game that Activision released for the 2600, that news isn't going to change, right? It's still those same 44 games. So that's Evergreen. It never gets old. It never gets stale. I mean, people can disagree with my opinion, but it's the same games. That's not going to change. And so what I'm seeing is that those two videos together have continued to do really well, prolonged. They've both been out for over 2 weeks now, I think, and they're still top of the charts. So, which brings us to today, which there's so much to do, but I'm going to stay focused. So the first focus today is I need to finish the last little, like I said, the stand-up and the edit of the next tier video. That's the next one I want to get out because I've been working on it. It's piled up and it's a huge potential. So I'm going to get that done. But also over the weekend, a lot of other stuff happened. We got the two new the toys that I told you that we found at the thrift store. That's great. Plus, there's an update I need to do. At Games just released a new firmware that fixes the paddle problems on that Flashback Gold, the little gadget that had the all the games on it, and we expanded it and all that stuff. This was back in March, I think, is when that came out. February, March, something like that. We reviewed it. That video did great for us. I did several follow-ups, mostly tracking the problem with those paddles. And so I need to check and see how that firmware does and report back for people who are following the story on how that's doing. But that's not a today thing, but it is timely, which means I'm going to try to get to it this week. And if I don't get to it this week, it's the kind of video that I almost need to question whether I do, because that isn't evergreen. That's very timely and something that people are going to want to see, because the validity of the value of that video only lasts as long as that product is in the marketplace, whereas evergreen videos, different. So either strike while the iron is hot or move on. So I have to make sure I find time for it if I'm going to do it. Okay, that's a lot of dogpiling of information just to say, worked on, and today going to finish that video to get it out, because I'm really eager to see how a follow-up performs, whether it fades or it has a potential to grow. I mean, that seems like an obvious. It's either going to do better or worse, I know, but I mean, the answer to that question is going to inform a lot of my planning going forward as to, whether I need to put more focus on that sort of kind of list video that if it does well, it does well, and people like to see it, Hey, I think I'm going to get busy today. I have plenty to do, so I'm going to get after it. I want to thank you for stopping in to check out the vlog today if you did. If you're here every day, I love you for that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Have a great Monday. Do something good for yourself if you can, and I'll talk to you again next day. Bye-bye.